I am uploading a video right now as I am speaking regarding last night's occurrences. So, throughout the duration of the night, lots of paranormal and supernatural activity ensued. I went outside, and not only were the drone-like things and the lights going over, and I seen various flashes of light, I sat down on the couch and witnessed paranormal activity throughout the night. My Ghost Pro camera is still gone. It's not where I left it. I had it plugged up, and boom, it's been gone since then. So the camera that I got with Jose Martinez's donation is gone, and I really hate that. So first, yesterday, a supernatural occurrence took place where I heard several frequencies, but also we've been hacked and monitored, and you know that from the previous videos that I shared. And later I had a situation where I walked into the house, and I had the house key on the vehicle key as well, and they're all together. I had the keys around my neck. Then I unlocked the house door, went in the house, had to get Daddy's truck key for his job. He had left it at the house. He had left the other key at the house. We came back and got this one so that he'd have a spare key. Well, then I'm looking around like, what the heck? I had the key around my neck. It's gone. It disappeared. And I was looking everywhere for it, and turns out, boom, it appeared in my mama's purse with them in the Nissan. And they were in the driveway. I was in the house. As if the key had just teleported to her purse. Well, later throughout the night, paranormal supernatural activity kept occurring. Mama and I decided to watch a movie, and we were up, and it was like, well, I'm going to watch a movie. We're going to watch a movie together. So we watched Thor. We watched Thor with Chris Hemsworth. And during that, the dog had a fit all of a sudden. And I heard grunts and growls outside, as you'll hear me document in my previous video that I'm uploading right now. And I heard like that right there on the porch. And Mama said, "Well, you're weirding me out because we heard these sounds and these things." So I went out there. I grabbed the big spotlight and something just in case I needed. And really quickly, I grabbed my phone and pressed record and ran outside. Nothing was there, nothing physical. The dog was very upset. One was leaning backed up against a tree and just pointing toward the road. Red was pointing toward the road. And everything, the cat, later, she was facing, the cat, I put her in the cage on the porch, and she faced toward the doorway, toward the window in the hall, or near the hall. And Red was facing that way, and the other, Lucy, was facing that way. Lizzie didn't even want to bother tonight. She just wanted to be alone, and she didn't even want to bother with these things. So I came back in the house because I wasn't able to capture any of it on recording. And in the beginning of the movie, while we were watching the beginning of the movie, those beings, about the time when those dark beings in the beginning of the Thor movie happened, all of a sudden I hear a crash in the hallway. I heard a door close, and then a door open and close, and then movement and a crash in the hallway. And an object that we had in there flew across the hall. And I witnessed a dark figure go from the bedroom door to the restroom door. Just go through there, and then back from the restroom door to the bedroom door, and then a smaller dark shadow figure go from one side of the hall to the other, just through the door. And I was like, whoa, I'm witnessing it right now. I grabbed the phone, but by the time I got the phone and got it ready, nothing worked. But then it just said force close, app forced close, couldn't function, all of that mess. That usually happens when you try to capture these seriously supernatural things, which, by the way, I created a channel called Seriously Supernatural. If you search that, feel free to check it out. It's called Seriously Supernatural, and I haven't posted on that in a good while, but I plan to again. And it's where I share various occurrences of mine. that are not necessarily related to the things of this channel, but some of them are, but they're more the paranormal and supernatural things. Then we decide to continue the movie. More activity takes place, inside and outside. And so, when I sat in the Nissan earlier that night, before all of that, there was paranormal activity there. And I was also hearing sounds and things. I heard grunts and growls and noises and things like that in the yard and across the road, as I documented in previous videos. And when I got back in the house later that night, I guess about 4:30 this morning, I witnessed figures, just ghostly figures. And I seen ghost figures, spirits. And in the living room, just a few moments ago, I guess 30 to 35 minutes ago, I laid down on the couch, and all of a sudden, I hear movements behind me, and a slap, and walking around. And I've been hearing voices. It sounded like I heard a child's voice, which for some reason is always extra creepy when that type of paranormal activity happens, and supernatural things. But I heard children's voice, I heard an older voice, and then I heard several other statements, just talking. And then I stated my phrases, I stated my statements, and I was stating to just let me be in peace. I'm trying to be calm and just be in peace and rest. Just rest calmly right now. And I was stating for everything to leave me peacefully, leave me in peace. And then there was some noises and moving around with the television. Well, the cat that we keep inside, and let her out every once in a while because she wants out. There's just sometimes many times wants out. There's no way around it. So we put her outside in the cage, the large cage. So it's actually a dog cage, but she likes it. So then she ran after whatever was making this loud noise over there at the TV in the living room, which you've seen where the TV's at in previous videos I've showed you. And there was a loud noise over there. Then I heard walking around. I've heard so many things tonight. So many things. And then the cat came back to me and she was like, and she was staring at something. So I then heard something else, and then I haven't heard too much since then. So that's all for this video. That's all for now. There was so much that happened. I witnessed things. I seen and heard things tonight. We both did. And earlier, while we were watching the Thor movie, there was this loud boom, boom. There were several booms that took place. And those booms and rumbles actually, I was like, what is it? We were like, what is it, Thor? We were just kind of joking because we were watching that movie. But then it was just a loud boom, as if a meteor or something very large hit the ground, hit the road or something, and then the house shook, and you could feel it under the floor. I could feel it underneath the floor. This vibrating energy go right underneath the floor, and it shook the floor and the house a bit. And then later, near the end of that movie, about an hour later, we heard another loud boom. So I went out to investigate and made a video about that, and I noticed that there was smoke, some type of smoke or mist or fog rising from the epicenter of where those booms came from. So those loud booms and rumbles, where the location that they came from is at, there was smoke and fog rising, and it hasn't rained. It's been very warm. Upper 90s, 100 degrees, and it's been that way for a long time. But it was cooler at night than it has been, but the humidity has still been so high it's been oppressive. So I don't know what was the cause of that smoke / fog and the booms and rumbles. I know people are hearing booms and rumblings all across this world right now, and they have been for quite some time, for the past several years, and they've been reported to various individuals. They've been reported all over social media. They're giving emergency calls to 911, and people have been calling it in and everything, and they said, please stop calling because this is being reported by many individuals and we don't have an answer. And that's various states and various countries that are reporting things like that. I didn't report this, and it wasn't reported here, but I know I heard something very, very loud. It sounded like the time that wreck happened when someone hit this being. And then it jumped off across the guardrail and vanished and disappeared. But it caused a wreck. It was like a Bigfoot / Sasquatch creature being that caused a wreck. I heard the police officer talking about it. And the people and the individuals, I heard them talking about it too. And he said, well, we'll just say it was a deer. That's what the officer had to put down. The police officer, the cop, had to put down that. That was a few years ago. I made a video about it when that happened. And I was just working with the energies around and talking about that just right before that happened. But those loud booms, it was like Thor just going boom. I guess pun intended, since we watched that movie last night / this morning. Depending on your perspective and whichever way you look at it. I've noticed the light is really coming through the window. It never came through the door like that. It did not come through the door like that often, but now, boom, it's just radiating through the door, the front door. But anyway, yeah, the sunlight is just beaming. It hurts your eyes. But back to the topic. Last night, those loud booms and loud rumbles that were taking place and went under the house, and the epicenter was right there on the main highway, and there was actually smoke rising and spreading everywhere. And then last night we smelled sulfur and garbage, and gas smells, which I smelled sulfur throughout the night until about an hour ago. Through the hallway and the house, it started spreading. Sulfur, like pure sulfur, gaseous sulfur and garbage. So I know they say that demonic entities and yins and things like that, different cultures, and we all have different things that we experience. They talk about those type of entities and energies and interdimensional beings, Sasquatches, all of those things have this really bad odor or smell many times. Some of them do, that they emit, and they talk about demonic entities, yins, interdimensional beings, Sasquatches, anything like that, having those types of smells and odors. I smelled those smells. I smelled that in the house. We both did this morning at about, I guess, it lasted for about 2 hours, the smell. So from about 5 a.m. to now, that smell, and the smell just went away, I'd say within the last 30 minutes. So, anyway, so much has happened throughout the night, and hopefully it'll be a good day. I will document any type of paranormal / supernatural activity. I'm also going to show a video of these scratches that just wound up being on me because of the reaction to just how I am to materials. But peace, much love, and if you would like to help out, my link is below for PayPal, because without your support, I can't do this without you. And every single dollar helps. No one's donated in a good while, but if you do and you want a shout out, I'll give you one. And I really greatly appreciate any help given. So anything from $1 up really helps out. So, and I appreciate the people who are saying that they would if they could. I appreciate that. So I love you all. This has been the documentation of what happened throughout the night, the paranormal / supernatural activity and various other things that happened, unexplainable occurrences that happened throughout the night. This is documentation. I know it was kind of a long video, but I felt like I needed to kind of recap on some things and share things that I have not shared yet that happened throughout the night. It's been a very active night, and I have a feeling it's going to continue to be an active week. So peace, much love, and stay cool if you're in the warm temperatures, because it's still around 100 degrees today and tomorrow as well, and summer is continuing. Peace, much love, and my links are below, as well as my email for this channel. Signing out.